Okay, everyone, picture this scenario to your mind, where you are the main character and you are lost in a certain place. So my question for every one of you is, who will you ask for help? So I will enumerate the choices that will be available, and then you have to only pick one among them. So the first choice will be a Filipino poor-looking person. The second choice will be an American lady who has a big lip, a big boob, and a big butt. And the third option will be a Thai transgender lady who has an uncommon appearance. And for the last choice is the Japanese man who seems know how the knowledge to speak in English. I will not require you to tell it verbally, but please just pick one choice and then just tell it to your mind. Before anything else, I am Mary Joy Corocoto, and I am here to prove that cultural differences is not a barrier towards social unity. I have to tell you this story. 30 years ago, we went to Hong Kong, and the country there, the people there were not able to speak English fluently. And at that time, we were in a taxi cab. So inside the taxi, there's a driver, of course. And the driver keeps on talking in Chinese. I don't know if it's Chinese or Cantonese, but it seems the China's language is the one that they are using. So we are flabbergasted about what we heard about that time, and the thing that we ensure, or the thing we do, is not to become rude, or to ensure polite and clear communication towards the driver. So that's the first point of this discussion. As a person, if we are speaking to a foreign man or a foreign race, we need to have a conversation which is seemingly be understood by the both listener and the both sender or the both receiver of the message. And to do that, a person who started the question should use simple words. She or he should also avoid slang and phrases which is not common to everyone or all of the person in the world. Because I think by avoiding that, we can also prevent miscommunication. We can prevent conflict towards one another or towards the person we are speaking or talking to. Whatever the situation may be, whether it will be in taxi or in mall, or you should always remember that you have to sound polite. You don't have to shout towards the person you are speaking to. And by that, there will be no trouble that can possibly produce in the time of the conversation. So the second point is to learn about differences of culture and to learn about sharing your own culture to others. By that, I think we can express our willingness to learn from them. We can become an open-minded person that a moral man should always do every time when he is interacting with someone. By learning about the differences, we can incorporate diversity, we can incorporate inclusion every time. So as a person who has has a unique norm, who has a unique culture, traditions, and practices, we should always be reminded that everyone is unique on their own way. That can sometimes be the source of how they live in the culture or the place they are born in. So the third point for this discussion is to learn to accommodate differences. Let's bring back to the previous or the first question that I tell to every one of you. It is the question that asks, who will be the person you will ask for a help? Is everyone right here chooses to have or to ask an help to a Filipino poor-looking man? Or who's in favor for the second option, which is the American with a giant, the American with a big lip, with a big boob and big hip? Raise your hand if you are in favor of speaking to a transgender man or transgender lady, from man to become lady. Who's in favor of her? Or will you try to speak from a Japanese who seems has not any knowledge about speaking English? So whatever your choice will be, I think it is the unconscious bias that stimulates the brain of every individual. Unconscious bias defines as the incredibly quick decision of man assessing or judging every person that he or she is or was interacting to. Do you know that it is significant today? Do you know that unconscious bias only produces disturbances towards speaking to everyone? Yes. The unconscious bias only produces negativity, and it doesn't produce diversity and inclusion towards everybody. What can we do with it? How can we deal with it? Basically, we should eliminate that thing. We should not attain the prejudgment of people. We should not give the stereotypes of them. We should not listen to it. I'm standing here in front of you, and I do not know what you were talking about with my discussion. But to sum up all of this, we don't need to become the standard of judging everyone's culture. What I mean to say is, we should not base our culture, our norms, towards other culture, because it will only produce a lot of conflicts that will turn into bringing the negativity inside the world. Whether you choose the Filipino, the American, the Thai, or the Japanese one, it doesn't matter. As long as you give respect to the person and he or she gives you the information you have, and when all of the things are settled by asking him or her for a help, the race will become not matter. The culture will not matter. As long as you are interacting with people by not judging them and not including the stereotypes that primarily existing on the head of everyone, you are keeping a right track. and please continue it. But even if you still depend on the stereotypes and the culture of everyone by interacting them, you should change right now. Because that thing, that practice, will not put you some good. Thank you, everyone. I hope that you get the point that I am trying to prove here. Thank you.